Stephen A. Smith finally checks Molly Qerim for constantly interrupting him on First Take. But before we get into it, we got to run the intro.
I went in the locker room trying to show him love. He dissed me. He threw shade at me. I'm like, what the fuck I do?
You ready, B?
You feel me? Like, if you played, he played half the clip. His little minions over here trashing me and shit. I'm like, oh, whatever.
Me,
I'm trying
young
to
B, cruising down the west side.
Nigga, who the fuck are you? Like, who are you?
The 03 Bonnie and Clyde.
He's talking about you right now. The locker room. He said all the players are trash.
So we put out a video on Molly Qerim about a week and a half ago. You know, I got a lot of comments of people saying basically that I'm sexist and I just don't want Molly Qerim to have a voice on the show and blah, blah, blah. And in reality, that couldn't be further from the truth. Me personally, you know, I think Molly is good at what she does. I just think that, you know, she can be very annoying sometimes when she's on First Take, right? That's just my personal opinion. I think she interrupts people at the wrong time, a lot of the time on the show. And I think sometimes, you know, she tries to insert herself into conversations and then she ends up making herself sound like a complete clown because she's not really well versed in that particular topic. So that brings us to today's show. They were doing a show on Baker Mayfield. They were doing a topic on Baker Mayfield today. Now, if you guys don't know, Baker Mayfield is actually playing some good football right now. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are 2-0, under, Baker Mayfield, right? So they got to talking about it. And, Stephen A. Smith, he was trying to make a point, and Molly Qerim disrespectfully interrupts this man yet again.
Come on.
Is Baker a top 10 quarterback right now?
I think right now he's looking like one. Whether or not that's going to last remains to be seen. But at this particular moment in time, yes. And Dan Orlovsky, since you want to pat yourself on the back, how about pat me on the back? Because Friday I said this could end up being the biggest storyline of the weekend.
You did. You did.
Oh,
you did.
Stephen
You
A.
did.
Stephen
I'm
A.
gonna walk behind the camera and pat you on the back.
All right.
Through
There
the
we
camera.
go.
Yeah, good job. You did. I
SA,
agree.
you're right. You're right. We can't really get on him like that.
But that just shows you the culture of this show. See, if Dan Orlovsky,
aren't you the executive producer
Molly,
of this show?
Molly, once again, you're interrupting before I even made my point. Here's
sorry,
the
I
deal.
talk way too
If that had been Dan Orlovsky, the producers would have had it. They would have made an A-list out of it. They would have pulled the clip and re-aired it. You know, Molly would have called for it. Had that been you, Shay, they'd have had it here and on Nightcap and on Club Shay. But I said it, and I got to remind y'all. I got to remind y'all.
Can you please stop talking? It's my job for traffic for the show. I'd like to call for that for the producers. Do you guys have it?
No way they have it.
And if Tampa Bay manages to go up against the Detroit Lions, who look pretty damn good, and beat them on the road in Detroit, we might be having a different conversation about what's going on in the National Football Conference.
Okay, you know what? Now I'm doing the stand-up move. Don't
I'll
ever
join you.
say that I don't have your back.
Stephen A.
Stephen A. Smith, don't ever say it, because I called for the sound and I had it for you.
Have yourself a weekend, Stephen A.
Stephen A., get over yourself,
about 10 minutes about 10 minutes after I did it. And by the way, Molly, don't bother standing up again, because standing up, you look as short as you look sitting down.
I'm not short.
I'm just telling you. I'm just talking about Dan Orlovsky. I'm
Guys,
talking about
first of all,
Molly.
I'm 5'7" and I have on 4-inch heels, so I'm pretty much shy of 6 feet right now.
Molly, once again, Miss Defensive, we were talking about you standing next to Dan Orlovsky.
I'm defensive.
That's all we were saying. That's
I'm
all
defensive.
we were saying. Okay, standing
we
next
just had to vindicate
6'6" Dan Orlovsky.
So you guys just heard the audio of Molly Qerim and Stephen A. Smith. I'm glad that Stephen A. Smith finally had the balls to say something to this chick, because Molly definitely needs to be stopped. Like I said, if you want to say certain things during First Take, we're fine with that. But when you're just constantly interrupting people with this annoying ass voice, it just throws everything off. So just learn to be quiet, man. We get it. You have main character syndrome and you think we care about you. No, we don't tune in the First Take to hear what Molly Qerim fucking thinks, okay? Like, let's get serious here, man, okay? Seriously. I mean, I don't even know what else to say, right? I mean, like I said, the chick has main character syndrome. Now, what was even funnier about this segment, ladies and gentlemen, was watching Shannon Sharpe have to pretty much eat his words about Baker Mayfield. Now, if you guys remember, when Shannon Sharpe was on Undisputed, him and Skip Bayless used to get into some heated conversations over Baker Mayfield, and Shannon Sharpe used to go off.
Right. Spew all your hate.
I'm going to spew it
your
all.
Baker hate. Spew it.
17.8, because all you talk about, you're uncertain about Justin Herbert, but you get on the floor for this clown. He's a bum. He's trash, and you know it.
So you guys just heard the audio. Now I want to play you guys what Shannon Sharpe had to say about Baker Mayfield earlier today on First Take.
Yeah, I'm going to have to say so. I love what I've seen from Baker. You go back to last year, he seemingly found a home in Tampa. He got paid. He earned that money. He didn't deserve it. He earned that money, and he's picked right up where he left off. He has two guys outside that can make plays for him. Chris Godwin is more the guy. You get the ball in his hands. He's tremendous run after the catch. Mike Evans is a guy that doesn't get the credit that he deserves because every year he's been in the league, he's had at least 1,000-yard receivers, and only Jerry Rice can say he's had as many consecutive 1,000-yard seasons as Mike Evans. But this team, the way Baker is have them in control, he's in control of this offense, and the way they can get after you defensively, you're absolutely right. They can be a problem in the NFC, and it doesn't look like, in the way it's shaping up right now, with the team 0-2 teams and 1-1 teams, there is no team that like, oh, you ain't no way they can lose. Yeah, all these teams can lose at home. All these teams can be beat if they go on the road. So because there's not a dominant team currently, now we're gonna check back in there at the quarter pole, and we'll check back halfway through the season, and we might be having a different conversation. But as of right now, yes, Baker, I do believe Baker is a top 10 quarterback. He's playing unbelievable, taking care of the football for the most part. But all that being said, Tampa might be a major player. I still like the Saints. We're going to talk about that, but I like the Saints. Yep. But Baker Mayfield is playing unbelievable football currently.
So, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it, man. Baker Mayfield is shutting up the haters, man. The dude is balling right now for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Like I said, they are 2-0. We'll see how this, is going to play itself out, the rest of this season. I've been keeping up with Baker ever since his days in, Cleveland. I think Baker is a good quarterback. I think Baker can play. Obviously, Cleveland is where quarterbacks go to die. And yeah, he didn't have a really good stint there, towards the end. But he did get hurt and things like that. So it is what it is. But now it looks like he's found a home in Tampa Bay. And I'm rooting for Baker. I like, Baker Mayfield, man. So we'll see, like I said, how this continues to play on throughout the course of the season, ladies and gentlemen. But I just found this whole segment on First Take to be extremely funny. But y'all be sure to come into the comments, man, and let me know your thoughts on Molly Qerim constantly interrupting everybody on First Take, man. And yeah, that's really all I got, man. I'm going to catch you guys on the next one. This was another installment of The Locker Room. Peace.